Hi, this is the Gypsy Rover. I had some time to come on a bit here for a bit. I wasn't going to come on until closer to after dark, and so I had some time to come on just now for a bit. Also, too, you probably noticed that I was doing some video camera lineup in the background here, just getting ready for tonight. Tonight is the big Hunters Cabin Fright Festival is starting live here tonight, and on Jokers on Duty, and which is like I said, we're bringing back the Hunters Cabin one more time for you this year, and then it won't be back again until next year. So so I was just getting some new things set up. That kind of thing, and just checking out my equipment to see if it was working. Usually I do use strobe lighting, but again, like this is maybe Halloween night. I'll probably use, when we hit Halloween night, we'll probably use the strobe lighting again, and then we'll probably have a bit of the background spooky sounds and that kind of thing on Halloween night. But in between this weekend, starting tonight, this is going to take you back into time, where in Hunter's Cabin, where there is a totally dead silence. So where the haunted fireplace is going to come on. Sometimes it's where you actually get to hear the actual haunted fireplace. May talk, may not, we don't know. But again, if if it's totally dead silence, haunted house, even if it's a replicant, sometimes if there is real spirits floating around in here, we'll pick their sounds up. And I'm hoping for 100% quiet for these next couple of nights, so we can authentically be able to pick up any background sounds and that kind of thing, and so you get to actually experience on what it would have been like in the time of Hunter's Cabin, and that. So tonight there'll be no sound effects. I'm hoping for no any extra sound coming from any other rooms either, unless it's something we're actually looking for. So again. And that, I was going to throw that, but nah. My wife will accuse me of littering. But we're campers around here anyways. We litter all we like. No, just kidding. And and that. But so I was just motioning the camera, getting it all lined up. I'll move out of the way here a little bit, so you can see. Even move back here a bit. Turn my chair a bit here if I can. You can see back here we got Pringles Pete. Again, and my electrical costumes. Again, I may switch back and forth too. So authentically. There's going to be the haunted, still there's going to be the haunted fireplace, and that. So this is actually going to take you back into time of Hunter's Cabin, when everything started haunting, and it was goes back to the original story. So again, it's where the dead silence would have been in the cabin, where it's all quiet and everything, and that kind of thing. So that is going to be quite interesting. One of the dead silent nights, which probably like I said, the sound effects may not even happen till Halloween night, because we've got tonight, we have tomorrow night, and we have Sunday night and Monday night. So there is two tales. I'm going to try if I can squeeze in two tales. There's going to be two tales, two Horror Legends, so tonight is authentically going to be the quiet Hunter's Cabin experience, haunting experience, and then tomorrow night is going to be a bit of the again. It'll be still some like in still pick up the dead quiet silence of Hunter's Cabin, and then we come into Sunday night. On tomorrow nights, during the Quiet Hunter's Cabin's Dead Silence night, there may be a horror legend, and then a Sunday night there'll be a horror legend, and then again, Monday night would be the pickup. So Monday night, with it being Black Halloween night, that'll be actually a tour in the dark through the haunted house, and so that means we're just gonna go around in the dark because I showed you everything in the light. This time it's gonna be all in the dark, and so again the orange lights will be on and that kind of thing. That one will take place in the dark with no sound, and then Tuesday it'll be the final with the sound effects, with it being Halloween night, and so right now I'm actually in the midst of now, just let you know, Hunter's Cabin is not going to be told the original way. The way it was told to me, there's going to be a twist to it. So when I go into that story, just mind you, it may go above PG, just to let you know, like Jesse's politicianal show, but it has nothing to do with politics. But it is going to go up a bit because with it being Halloween, like I said, any other time of year, or New Year's Eve, will go up a notch because of New Year's is for the adults and that kind of thing. But again, like this is what this haunted house here at Live on Facebook is for the adults. So because adults, they don't go out trick-or-treating, and not every adults go to the bar and that kind of thing. But on Halloween night they probably will, but I never prepared for that this year, and so because I wanted to do these live streams, so that way us adults could have some kind of enjoyment of Halloween too, and that kind of thing. So again, this is a real big treat this year, and then next year Hunter's Cabin is not going to be done on an authentical card flip like it was this year. The Dark Hunter's Cabin Challenge card game, it is going to be the haunted it is going to be the haunted house all the way through. So again, that's going to be. Oh, by the way, one of my little statues actually survived. My skeleton bride, she survived. The groom actually lost his head. During one of the movie nights we had on here, the groom skeleton actually lost his head. So again, I need to put her up by behind me by the fireplace and that kind of thing. And Pringles Pete, he's looking just as good back there. And oh, by the way, there will be a spooky visit from Ian. That's, like I said, just to warn you now that I'm doing the voices of the characters. I'm reacting out the characters. So just to let you know that is me playing those parts for this haunted house. So anyhow, I hope everybody is sitting back and is going to enjoy this tonight. I am going to eat my supper early. That way, I get it into me before I come on here and get all this started and that kind of thing, because I have to test out the lights and that kind of thing. I got to test out my crystal ball. Yes, I have a crystal ball. I'm not talking about when I say crystal ball, I mean an actual authentic crystal light up ball. One of those glass balls. I'm not talking about somebody by the name of Crystal. So on that, so like this is an actual what you call one of those actual disco light spinners. So and that kind of thing. It's kind of purple and it changes different. Funky blue, black, whatever colors, and that kind of thing, and it brightens up the whole room, and that kind of thing a little bit. And like I said, it is a good fit to the Hunter's Cabin, the Haunted Hunt. Now this is the Haunted Hunters. This is the Haunted Halloween Hunter's Cabin, Haunted Party. that the characters in the Dark Hunter's Cabin challenge didn't make it to. So, you know, because everybody, when they crossed the Wicker Square, they all lost their heads. They were caught. They didn't make it into Hunter's Cabin, or they didn't make it out of Hunter's Cabin. They all made it into Hunter's Cabin, but they didn't make it out of Hunter's Cabin. They all got captured and became ghosts. Over in this one corner, we do have a captured. Well, he's stuffed like the rest of the dummies here. In here, I did put the corpse back up. The stuffed dummy I just made today, I did decide to put him back out, and I put him on the couch to save room, because the actual when I had him on the ironing board, the ironing board is very huge. It would have taken up a lot of room, and that kind of thing, and it takes up, would have taken out half my walking space, because the fact that my CD player is authentically is unplugged, because I'm using the same plug for the crystal ball. On the Halloween night's sound effects night, I think I'm gonna go on my PS3 system and run sound effects from the background from YouTube or something. That's if I can do that. Maybe not. I don't know. If not, again, we may not have the sound, or maybe if I do the sound effects, then I have to do them. Then I may have to do them through my DVD player, and that kind of thing. Because my DVD player does, I think, play CDs too, without harming it. One night, I don't think it'll hurt it. That kind of thing. So, you know, that's is and that. So I think I'm gonna play the sound effects on the DVD player. I think that'll be a lot easier, because that way it's not over accessing internet usage. So I want to save that as much as possible. Again, any time in the 2 nights, or because there's gonna be 3 nights just tonight. There's tomorrow night. There's Friday night, which is tonight, starting tonight. There's tomorrow night, Saturday, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. Now, somewhere this weekend, if by any chance I'm on live stream and Freddy, like the actor Freddy Krueger, or whatever, that plays Freddy Krueger, or Chucky, or any of them, send me an invite asking to come in on my live stream, and I add them to as a guest, they may pop in to spook you. Be prepared about that. They'll be most welcome. So, again, or Linda Blair, or whatever, the actor from Exorcist, or whatever, if they do decide to pop in and give you a big flash fright, be prepared that, this is a haunted house, and anybody will pop in. So, like, let's say if they send me an invite and I go down and I click my invite and I say, okay, invite guest and add guest, and they come through, one of them, they may actually pop and spook you. It means they could show up in the middle of this haunted house tonight, or tomorrow night, or Sunday night. Just be prepared, because they can come through on a live stream. From their live stream to my live stream. And that, so we're going to leave that door open for them. Same with the guy that plays Jason Voorhees. And again, they'll be in their movie characters. So, and if that's the case, if they come through dressed in their movie characters as the characters that they play in the movie, in the movies, that'd be really freaking cool. With it being Halloween too, mind you, their music will be playing from their end. So their network, if they do come through, on their live stream, their music will be playing. So be prepared about that. So so you may get a bit of a fright. If they don't pop through, then, like I said, Hunter's Cabin is still going to go through. Is still going to continue on. But again, it'd be very, very, very spooky if they do that. Like that'd be really cool on here, and that'll really look good on here, and that kind of thing with it being Halloween. it would actually be a quick, good fit, and that. So, like I said, I had a little bit of time to kill, so while I was getting things set up and testing out the camera to see if everything's working, that kind of thing. Just getting it focused to where the fireplace is here, and again, also too, there is going to, after Halloween is done, we will go into our Christmas shows, but the same night, Halloween night, I say about it'll be a late show, quick show, where you will actually get to see the dummies. Like I did the Dark Hunters Cabin Challenge. There will be another stream where you get to actually see the dummies get on here. Watch me actually strip these vacuum cleaners and these dummies. So just to let you know that don't start any funny rumors, because like I said, they're just vacuum cleaners. They're just one's just a camera stand, the others are vacuum cleaners. They're actually pre-stuffed dummies. So they're so you'll actually get to see again one more time on how they were put together. So you'll actually see me take them apart. So that way you have a good idea on how it all went together. That is always the best part of these shows, after the haunted theme is done. And then next year, it'll be added to, and then next year, instead of having the card game challenge, Dark Hunter's Cabin card game challenge, it is going to be all put up again, and it'll be added to, and maybe next year I might actually have the identical gravestones here too. Not real gravestones, but probably, next year I'll probably get into buying the sponge stones or whatever. And the whole ribbon, brand new streamers, everything, and that kind of thing. Like I said, in the last Dark Hunters Cabin challenges, the streamers kind of fell apart because they were up on the wall and that kind of thing, and then they started wearing out. So I have to get some new ones because they're only paper, right? They don't last long. So they only last probably maybe lucky it lasted for the amount of shows I did for the Dark Hunters Cabin Challenge and that kind of thing. So in next year I'll be buying all brand new ones and that. So on that, so again, I hope everybody is all looking forward to this tonight. Like I said, this is going to take you back into the time of Hunter's Cabin, where it is going to be the authentical haunting of it, or where when it, in the time of the actual quietness and that kind of thing, where the fireplace will come on and that, and but first Ian is kind of make appearance on the camera to open it. So be prepared for that. Like I said, now it's me to play. That's me that does the voices. I play the Gypsy Rover. I play all the characters in that story. So it's going to. It is actually going to be. Like I said, this is Halloween weekend. The countdown is technically over because there's only 3 more days left. So we're down to the bottom of the ladder, and it's coming really quick. So we don't have to actually go the 4, 3, 2, 1 anymore, because as long as we make it down to 5, we know automatically, boom, it's here. So this is the main Halloween weekend. We came through Halloween week. We're on Halloween weekend, which is Monday is Devil's Night, Black Halloween, and that. And then Tuesday, like I said, Tuesday night, it is going to. There's going to be, like I said, it is going to be the big stream. So to be prepared. There's Tuesday with being Halloween. I might actually have to get a runner to run out for my coffee that night. Yeah, I might do that. Or get it early before I go on the stream. That way I've got it in me in here and that kind of thing. And so anyhow, because I get busy with these, because this is what my Halloween, this is my way of celebrating Halloween now, is on Facebook. Since now we don't rent the house anymore, and I don't have to run hydro lines outside. I don't have to chase my decorations all the way down the street in the winter. And again, every year it never fails: raining, windy, snowy, or snowing, or doing something, and or very cold. So. That's why I'm glad that's why I'm so happy that Fran and we got our own apartment here now. We're not in the house, so I would have actually done the basement up, but see, since we didn't know you could do Facebook Live videos, so now since I know I'm doing the Facebook Live videos, now we're in our own apartment, so we can actually live stream our own, set our own for Halloween, set our own apartment up, decorate it for Halloween, and run live streams right out of our own apartment. So this is really cool for Halloween. So you get to see a different way of celebrating Halloween, instead of being off and to be outside and setting everything up all outside and then dragging it all in. So, and again, also this way it keeps everything all dry. So, and it keeps everything from the wind picking up or whatever, and that kind of thing. Only issue now that I do have is I do have a black cat that likes to play with everything. That's the only thing issue I'm working with this year. But he may be in the background, just to let you know, he may be in the background making noises too. So again, just to pre-warn you, he is a black cat, and he likes to creep around in the dark. And once he sees it's all lit up in Halloween lights or whatever, he likes to sneak around because you can't see him in the dark, or you might see he may freak you out because he may go sit in front of the fireplace or whatever, and you don't always see him there. So, so be prepared to be freaked out, or be prepared to be frightened, because this is what Halloween's about. This is our night. This is our night to enjoy good fighting, and to enjoy a good Halloween's a good holiday. It's the only time in year you get, like Mike said, you get to dress up as other people, or not other people, but whatever characters you want to, or whatever, and run your haunted houses and that kind of thing, and put a scare into people, and that. So and that's why I'm looking forward to bringing back my story that was told to me as a child of Hunter's Cabin, and but in a different way. And my camp experience is from Camp Northern Lights, so you probably heard all that. And if even the Dark Hunter's Cabin challenge actually frightened you, if it did frighten anybody, the first half of it, please feel free to comment under it, I think it might have, because like I said, Hunter's Cabin, like I said, once it's told, it is a very frightening tale. So that's why those streams, I broke it down with I had to break it down at that time with a little bit of music. So that kind of thing, so it wouldn't be very frightening, because we were just getting close to Halloween. It was still on a Halloween countdown. So but it was also on a Dark Hunter's Cabin, what you call challenge card and board, or walk, or what you call sidewalk board game, and that. So again, this is that, and I tested out my e-costumes. Some in between some of the Silent Nights. Tonight, I don't think I'm going to use those ones. Excuse me, maybe I will. or maybe I might save those for the next 2 nights, because there's different spooky ones on here that I've noticed that are really, really spooky. So that will actually, that will actually be able to really give you a good spook. There is a couple good ones on here, and that I did like, and that. So maybe there might be the odd one tonight. I don't know. It's depends on how the first night, because usually the first night of it is usually the roughest to actually get going, and that kind of thing, and getting into the weekend. So. Like I said, tonight, and you can tell I've got it lined right up to the fireplace. So I've got it totally set that I can actually freely move around and that kind of thing. And like I said, all the lights will be off. Again, when I actually do go into the hunters into the hunter's cabin. And that, because I am live streaming from my cell phone, I do ask people not to phone my cell phone, or actually or use FaceTime, or use the video chat end of it, unless it's connected to the live stream. Unless it's through a live video stream, then that's different. Also, too, for the haunted cabin that I'm going into. Again, the base phone, it can be a distracting. I'm away from my desk, so if I was at my desk, I wouldn't mind. But because I'm away from my desk, I'm gonna be too busy with this. I'm not gonna be able to get over there to keep answering the phone, and it is very. And then because I'm way over at the other end of the living room, and that kind of thing, and because like I said, we have a tendency to move around, and I don't have I got rid of my cordless phone because it was intercepting the internet. But again, because my desktop is at the other end of the room, I can't get to it. So I asked for no distractions on that, because the fact that I'm away from my desk and that kind of thing. So again, there's a couple of replicants I did put out. You may see in the dark, and that. So, and I had some new dummies and that kind of thing. So you're gonna remember the Ghost of Pringles Pete. You're gonna remember the Ghost of the Gypsy Rover, which is my ghost replication, and that. So, and we're all in for a spooky good time. So, and that, and don't forget, update, Owen Sound 2 Saturday. I'm not sure what time it starts, which is technically tomorrow. I think tomorrow, tomorrow Saturday. Tomorrow Oktoberfest starts, and that also this weekend. So tomorrow is Oktoberfest in Owen Sound, Ontario. And that's where they sell the big Oktoberfest sausages, and they have the big beer party and that kind of thing. And also, too, there is also Purple Valley, which is not far from us, from Wyerton here. Purple Valley is having an old-fashioned wooden barn hoedown, Halloween stomp and stomp. And that's where guys get all drinking, and they wear the nice Halloween costumes to the Halloween party on Halloween, and they get a drinking in the beer, and they put down a good old beer or whatever, and it's done outside in the mud and the cattle crap, and they go home all dirty and filthy at the end of the night, and their costumes are ripped and torn, and they're going home muddy and dirty. And because they know how to get drunk, down, and dirty, so or get muddy. I don't mean it in a what you call in a very dirty-minded way. I'm just saying that they physically do get they actually get partying, so they start having a good time and everything. They go into one beer after another, and they're dancing away to the music. They're dancing away, but they don't care how muddy it is, how dirty it is. They're falling down in the mud. And they were doing that Canada Day here too. That it never fails every year. It's always muddy because it's always raining, and by the end of the night, when the event's over, they're all going home muddy, dirty, and they're getting into a nice clean taxi cab, and they're all full of mud and dirt. And because somebody stepped in cattle manure or whatever, and they got that on all over them too, and stinking and smelling of it, and they go home filthy and mud and that everything. So, so that is a very spooky way to end a good Halloween party. They go home with it. They go show up in a Halloween costume, and then they go home in a brand new Halloween costume, all full of mud and dirt, and because they get too drunk and they're just having a good old time, and that kind of thing, and so that's the funny part of it. That's why it's a good old fashioned country stomp and stomp, and that kind of thing, because Wire to Purple Valleys, they're all farmers here, so what are you going to expect? Like they all country kids growing and raised. I wasn't really growing and raised a country kid. I should have been, but if I had been with my dad when I was as a kid, but I wasn't. I ended up growing up in the city away from my father, so I never became a country kid. I was never raised as a country kid. But again, I was raised more of a city kid and that kind of thing, and when we knew enough, not when we went to parties. We went to parties when I came of age. We knew enough how to go to parties well dressed, clean, and come home well dressed and clean. Farm kids, they go to party. Farm kids, they become of age to go to these things, like 19 years of age. They, they go to the thing clean, yes, but then they come home filthy and dirty, and all full of mud, and sticking of horse and cattle manure, and that kind of it's so comical. They do that Canada, they do, and then because if they live way further out, they, in Purple Valley or whatever, Hapworth here or whatever, they got to get into a clean cab all full of mud and everything, and the cab driver's getting all peed off, and he's getting mud on his seats, and then he's got to go and clean his cars out, or that if it's not that, they're puking in the cab or whatever. So anyhow, like I said, this is just a bit of a Halloween humor here, so that kind of thing. So it goes to show you, how a lot of farm kids are different from us country kids. How a lot of farm country kids are different than us city kids. Sorry, I got that right this time. How we're kind of different. So like I said, when we go to a party, when when I was 19 and we started going to parties in the cities, we knew how to go to the party well dressed and clean, and come home clean. We were drunk, yes, but we came home clean. We didn't come home full of mud and that kind of thing like these farm kids do, and that kind of thing. But that's probably where they got the expression by calling them dirt farmers. So anyhow, that is just another that's just another joke of mine. So so I hope everybody is ready for tonight. This is a good, authentic old ghost horror legend, and I hope everybody enjoys this haunted house night starting tonight until Tuesday night, and that. So, and I popped in on Dylan's stream. I think it was great him having a session with Mike and that kind of thing. I would have actually come in as a guest too, but he can only, I guess, I could do it from my phone too, but some people are also on laptops, so they can't all come in at the same time, unless they're actually on a mobile phone, and the streams can't hold too many people, and unless you have unless you've got a certain strength of software to do it, that kind of thing. So, and then plus I was also too in between getting also being busy too, like lining up, trying to test, also testing my camera out at the same time, lining it up. So, and that kind of thing. So trying to focus this, measure the direction that the haunted fireplace is going to come on, and that. So again, during the actual haunted Halloween night, which is Tuesday night of Hunter's Cabin, that is the big fright night. That is going to be the big. That is going to be the big haunted stream for you that night, and that's going to be that's going to converse back to before with a few sound effects. So I'm going to prepare those too. And like I said, little Atreyu Jupiter plane here may help us out too. Because I gave him permission to make a little bit of make a little of his kitty sounds in the background to scare you. So again, and like I said, the couple of nights there is going to be I'm going to try to fit in two horror legends, and that I know of. Now, if I do apologize on some of my streams if I do have a tendency of repeating myself. I had a bit of an accident when I was younger. I've been in several accidents, related accidents anyways. There's one on here. I did have a roommate at one time, and I was actually severely beaten down to a concrete cement floor, and I was in a coma for 2 weeks. And I suffered a little bit of brain damage, and that. So I do apologize if I do have tendency sometimes to stutter. If you probably noticed that sometimes I accidentally repeat myself, it's because my one side of my brain is not functioning the way it should be, or not picking up the messages quite well, and not or quite clear when I'm talking, and that kind of thing. And also again, when I was a little kid, I was on the back of my uncle's motorcycle, and we were in a motorcycle accident, and again, I suffered a little bit of brain tissue damage then too, and where he had come out with a broken leg, I had just been knocked out cold, and for a bit, and wasn't emerged for 2 nights. And that kind of thing, and again with a concussion. So and then when I was driving for selling Dickie D ice cream when I was about 13 or 14 years of age in the city when we had those, my back wheel there was high speeder that ran me off the road, and I was hit by my back bike. Real bumper was hit by a car, and I went flying off the road, and I went flying into electrical, one of those telephone poles, and I banged my head very hard on the pole too, and again I got a concussion from that, and I was in the hospital for 1 night, and so I never drove the ice cream. I never sold ice cream since then. And so that's what I like. I said, I've been through a lot in my life and that kind of thing. And it's not that I'm just accident prone. It's just again, it's I've experienced a lot as a kid. And same with the story of Hunter's Cabin. When I was at summer camp, when I was about 9 or 10, I suffered very bad night tremors from that story, and which I had outgrew too. So, I mean, I'm kind of what you call an accident magnet. So, I just can't help it. It means like I said, no matter what or how careful you are, or how cautious you can be, or how easy you take it, it just goes to show you accidents can still happen. Never say never. You can't. Don't ever say never. You never. You're never going to get injured. You're never going to get hurt. Plus, too, like I used to when in my teens, I played ice hockey. I was in Army Cadets. I was in Air Cadets. Again, hockey is an accident waiting to happen when you're playing ice hockey, because you're getting kicked in the head, shins with the skate blades, and you're getting high sticked in the stomach, checked into the boards, and your head being banged down on the ice. And again, I had a concussion from that, and I got put into a medical room and that kind of thing. So again, it's. I'm just actually grateful to be here right about now. So again, it's some people don't even survive these many accidents, but for some reason I did. But it's but again, like I said, it's that's why if I'm walking anywhere, so I try my best, even the winter's coming and that kind of thing, and I work one day a week in a dentist office, and I got to walk up a hill because it's in Georgian Bluffs. So again, it's way out by the OPP station, and where the dentist office is, the Wiarton dental office is actually on the borderline of Wiarton and right when you go past the OPP station before you go into Georgian Bluffs. So it's got more of a Georgian Bluff, on a Georgian Bluff lot. But with a Wiarton address. But again, with the snow blizzards and that, again, I gotta walk it. So I get up for work at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock, same time I do for my papers, and that's what I said. I have to really be careful and cautious because there's days where we get ice storms here, and trust me, with Wiarton, when it snows in, it doesn't stop snowing. We've had cases, where the snow's been up past our necks, and that's how deep it gets here. And there's been times where the roads have actually been closed to traffic coming in and out because of on how bad the roads are and that kind of thing, and on how icy they are, especially if you get the black ice and that kind of thing. They'll close the roads, and sometimes they'll close Grey County Road, or they'll close the Grey Bruce Road, or they'll close off Highway 6. So coming into Wiarton out of Hapworth. So, and when they close it off, drivers can't actually drive down it no more, because if they're caught driving down a closed road, the OPP can actually pull you over and actually fine you a ticket and that kind of thing, because you're driving down a dangerous road. You're driving down, you're doing it at your own risk, but you're driving down a closed off road, and it's closed off for a reason, for safety reasons, and the OPP monitor that road. So if that road's closed off and you're caught driving down it, you could be pulled over with the flashing lights and actually get a ticket. And because you're actually instructing the safety of the people in your vehicle or your family or whatever, and it's more of a safety issue and that kind of thing. But So that's a little bit about me, and that's why I'm so glad that I'll be able to bring this back one more time for you this year, that kind of thing. And next year, when it continues on year after year, it is going to be added to. That's what I said. The next year it won't be the Dark Hunters Cabin Challenge card game. It is going to pick up as a full haunted cabin house. So but by then too, I'll be moved out of the living room and actually moved into the 2 studio rooms. So over time, what I'm thinking about doing is getting rid of these mattresses in here this extra room, to make the room in there. Over time, I'm going to look for a futon couch, and I'm going to have fun getting up the glass stairs into my apartment. That way I'm going to get that way it pulls out into a bed. Then if I want to fold it down into a couch, I'll fold it down into a couch. That way then the both rooms will be set up as a full studio. So, and that's so that way I'll have the 2 rooms to work with. So that way, again, with the futon, I'll be actually saving the room. So, or either if not a futon, I may just buy one of those fold-up army cots and go back to putting that in there. For people, for anybody to sleep on, but again, I don't like those because they're not well made like they used to. They're not the technical good ones like you'd buy at the good heavy ones that you buy at the Army Surplus store that you can buy from the military stores and that kind of thing. They're not the technical good, nice heavyweight ones like the original ones used to be that can hold any weight. Like now, the ones you buy at Giant Tiger, they're very cheap plastic metal, so they, once you fold it out and, you go to sleep on it, you fall through it. It doesn't hold up to that much weight to it. And that, so if you're a very large person and you go to sleep on one of those cheapo cots, you kind of rip a hole in it and fall through it. So, like I said, it's not the good Army military ones that you can buy at the surplus stores. So, on that, so, it's those are some of the changes that I'm thinking about doing. And I still think I would rather still go with the futon couch myself, if possible, to put in there. I'm thinking about getting at some point. That way, I've got couches in the 2 rooms. That way, it makes more room, and then that way I've got it can actually be done. It can be done very nice and that kind of thing. And I may buy some posters and put them up, that kind of thing. To decorate up the studio a bit, kind of, because it looks dull with white walls. Like, you gotta by buying a few movie posters and put them up there. I mean, you gotta decorate the place, like, make it look nice at least. You don't want your live stream, like when you're doing live streams and that, like I don't want my Jokers on Duty studio looking like the local Salvation Army. When they got nothing on the walls, sitting on the floor, and that is just up and down like a circus type thing. I think that is just a poor way to run a church, really. I mean, if these guys are kind of authentically run an actual church, like actually put some money into the place and make it more comfortable for people to sit down and that kind of thing, like comfortable pews, or bolt them into the floor. But they always have this excuse at this Salvation Army here, we can't afford that, or or the excuse is that it's too much work, too much money, too much construction, and that kind. Because you get a budget every year to do that kind of thing for. That's what their budget is for, and that usually they get. But they say, oh no, people can sit on the floor up and down it like a circus and that kind of thing, and it's nobody's comfortable. And like, especially if they've got these ministries where they're working with trying to rehabilitate people that are just coming out of prison and that kind of thing, I don't think they want to walk into a Salvation Army church, into an old factory garage that looks like a prison cell, because they've seen enough of that in their life, or the place is being operated like a prison. Like, come on, like, make it homecoming to them, like, doll it up a bit, put out, instead of putting out, stupid, kindergarten chairs, put out some nice fold out comfortable chairs, or, you get a whole lot of them, put them out, or, make it look like, an actual auditorium, building a proper, what you call, and put it in an actual platform, build like the Pentecostal churches do, the Baptist churches, the United churches do, put in an authentic platform, what you call actual platform stage, it's not a hard work. I'm sure some there's carpenters that lovely, give you a good price on the wood and that kind of thing, and you get great prices on that, especially for a group that's running a Trade Star program for teenagers. Put the teenagers to work of building a platform stage for them, kind of thing, and like the Pentecostals have and that kind of thing, or the Baptists or the Uniteds, or have something, and then put them to work building pews in the place, bolt them to the floor, rip out the concrete floor and put nice hardwood floors down, and then put carpet over it, make it look nice at least, take away the sick prison look. It's I think that is just sick looking for a church. Like that's like I can go into, like, nowadays you can actually go into a nice, like, I wouldn't advise it. I've never gone into one, but I have seen them on the internet. But you even walk into again, if you walk into a Gothic or a satanical church, I can mention this now because Halloween's coming. Even there. They got the nice wooden stage, you got the nice black and white and red curtains, and they've got the pentagram star, a Wiccan star in the middle of the carpet, and like a gold color or whatever, or orangey color, and they've got carpets running up the place, and they've got like auditoriums, actual built-in auditorium seats, everything. The place is looking nice for the round church of the Devil's Church, where the Salvation Army is supposed to be a Christian church, and that looks more like the Devil's Church because there's nothing in it, and it's an old newspaper factory here, and I'm like, like that is great. I'm sorry, but that would be a good location to run a Dickie D franchise out of, basically, because that's all that's good for. Is a Dickie D garage, or put a bunch of Dickie D freezers in there, or run a Dickie D ice cream bike franchise out of there, or not, or throw a roller skate park in there or something like that. But it's like they'll bounce up and down from one thing. They'll set up for one thing, take it down, and then set up for their services, take it down. Then they'll set up for their senior programs and that kind of thing, and it's all done in this garage. And meanwhile, the people that run the place are sitting in nice fancy offices. So their sanctuary is very ugly looking. It's not much of a sanctuary. It's just an old factory garage that everybody's sitting around in. And yet all the people that run the head of the place, they're all sitting in nice fancy offices, nice fancy couches in there, nice fancy desks, and but if they run their that is fine for their lunch program, but if they're putting this, if they've got the sanctuary going in the same place they run their lunch program out of, and their food bank out of the same area, their exercise gym out of the same area, I mean, it's up and down like the Shriner Circus. So again, it's very, like I said, it's very, very sick looking, like totally renovate the place. Get a grant to, even if they're leasing or renting, I'm sure that the people that actually do own the place will probably go, if they put it in their budget and, actually pay out the renovations, I'm sure they'll renovate it, that kind of thing, and actually put in nice carpets, put in nice pews, make it look like a church at least, not make it look like it's, like it's like a gang, like the Hood, like one of those what you call Ontario housing projects like we have here, and that kind of thing, where there's like graffitis all over the wall and everything. That'd be the next thing going on in there. But anyhow, like I said, a little bit of Halloween sense of humor goes a long way, eh? But anyhow, but again, it's that's why I said Hunter's Cabin is going to pick up again this weekend, for this Halloween weekend and Halloween. So and that. So like I said, I had some time to pop in. Kind of, I wasn't sure if I was gonna have time to pop in during the daytime hour, between setting stuff up, but I got everything all lined up, set up the way it's gonna be, and that. So, again, we will see you tonight after dark, and we are live. Happy Halloween, and we are live back from Hunter's Cabin. Have a nice night, guys. Have a nice day, guys, and we'll see you tonight after dark. Bye-bye.